Gorilla Tag has been hiding something from us for a very long time, but I think I finally solved what they've been hiding from us. It all started here, in OG Forest. The monkeys used to roam and play, have the greatest time of their lives. The monkeys eventually became so smart that they developed their own technology, such as the computer. Everything was going great for the monkey civilization. It seemed like nothing could go wrong. Guys, you're never gonna believe what happened next. Something went wrong. I know, that's crazy. From the moon fell a couple little creatures that are named the Monkey. Naturally curious as one monkey is, the monkey touched one of the Monkey, and the infection started. It was dangerous and fast. With a single touch, you were infected. But thankfully, there was hope for this. There were 3 very intelligent monkeys. They were actually the ones who developed the computer, and using their smart brains, they were going to find a way to fix this. And so they started branching out to whole new places. They knew what they needed wasn't in forest, and so they tried exploring beyond the forest. And so it wasn't long until they discovered places like caves. Now, caves was a much bigger find than you think. Inside of caves are crystals, aka shiny rocks, and they use these shiny rocks in order to trade. Now people can make items for others and get a fair deal. I know, guys, it's totally not basic money stuff. They also ended up finding places like canyons, which is also good because that means less places for the infection to spread. Okay, that sounds bad, but I don't know how to explain myself. And because of them knowing that forest was a dangerous place, tons of homes were quickly built. But unfortunately, this was only the beginning of a much bigger problem. And then finally, they made city. Finally, there was a nice big open area you could trade your shiny rocks with. That wasn't a small little hat room. I just realized I didn't change my name. Crud, cheese lag. But you see, this is where we run into a problem in the story. The monkeys got really smart. They really wanted a way to cure the infection. And so what did they make, you might be asking? An invisible wall that only they can go through. By using their special employee key cards, they could go through the invisible wall. And the thing is, no one knew about this. This was completely only to these 3 monkeys. And even though we can't actually visit this place, we all know what that looks like. The ghost reactor room. Yeah, this has a much bigger role to the story than you would ever think. But with that said, I think we can leave Virtual Stump and move on to modern Gorilla Tag. I have to take the detour because Ray's editing hole is still closed off. Ray, if you're watching this, type RIP to your editing hole, man. We need that back! Now pay attention to this, because this will be very important to the story later. This is Lucy's mansion. Yes, the Lucy. And as you can see here, Lucy had a baby. Who is this baby, you might ask? Paul, aka PBBV. Now I promise, this will get very important to the story later. I mean, very important. Fast forward into the future. Paul is now a full-grown adult, but there's an unfortunate thing that happened. Lucy got infected. Paul was obviously devastated. His mom is basically gone, but that's when Gorilla Corp came in. They told him, we can bring your mom back. And so with some agreements, he became one of the first test subjects. They were experimenting with monkey life. Now, they were doing tons of experiments, and I'm not a science guy, so obviously I don't know exactly what they were doing. But eventually, something very wrong happened. The experiment was to take life from one monkey and put it into the other, trying to cure the infection somehow. But in doing so, Paul lost his life. But here's the weird thing. Paul wasn't completely dead. His organs in his body stopped working, but he still moved. But he wasn't himself anymore. He was raged. Gorilla Corp said they could bring his mom back, but instead, they killed both of them. He lost who he was. And he broke out of the jail cells that they were keeping him in the mines. broke out into the forest, wreaking havoc everywhere. This was the incident of PBBV.
What? Bro! Wait, guys, it's gone.
Some were able to control themselves, like Javu. Others went completely mad. However, there was one monkey that went completely mad. Daisy09. This outbreak was so bad, tons of monkeys went missing that day, with only one employee of Gorilla Corp remaining, one of the original 3. And shortly after that, caves collapsed. Now, Gorilla Corp could do nothing. There was nothing they could do to continue their work, research, and helping to stop the infection. Or was there a way? What if you could bring the old caves back from the past? And so that's when this monkey started experimenting with time travel. And what did he figure out? He figured out how to do time travel. I know, big shocker, guys. So he ended up putting OG caves into rotation, and it worked. So after getting more research done, he ended up putting it back into caves, where he continued doing more work in his more big lab. Soon though, the walls fell down. Everyone knew about his secret. So what did the monkey do? He put OG Caves back where it belonged, open to the public. And you know what he started doing shortly after? Hiring for Gorilla Corp again. Now they could do more experiments. But all the ghosts that didn't come out before are coming out now, attacking all the employees. Now they're also experimenting on other things than just monkeys. Remember Doug the Bug's kids? What's in that place now? Doug the Bug's. And what meant missing one time? Doug the Bug's kids. They keep experimenting with more and more things to cure the infection, but in turn, they are causing more and more damage without knowing, and there is still no cure to the infection. Do you see the problem? Gorilla Corp is experimenting on innocent monkeys. This game is not just a simple game of tag. This game is out of this world. Get it? Because the monkey came from out of this world, guys. And Gorilla Corp keeps even just trying to distract us from the problem. They released old versions of Monkey World in the virtual stump to distract us from it, using their time travel technology. This is crazy. They invent elevators to try to get us to our jobs faster, to let them experiment faster, to let them cure faster, but in turn, they are causing even more chaos. If that wasn't the most compelling Gorilla Tag theory you have ever heard of, I do not know what will be. But what do you guys think of my theory? Let me know in the comment section down below. This video probably took a long time to make. I don't know because I'm recording right now, but I do know that the thumbnail took a while. So, but with that said, I hope you all have a good day. Peace.